Charlie Days here, and it's Saturday morning scares time. If you're new to the channel, hi, hello. Basically every Saturday we just get together, we hang out, we watch some scary videos that either I find on the internet or someone suggests to me. This one is an animated horror story that is a short film, which sometimes we will react to a short film. I usually only react to like series on the channel. But this one sounded interesting. I've actually never seen it. I just watched a little bit of it and loved it immediately. So we're going to go ahead and watch it. It's called The Worm, and it's by Don't Walk Home Alone After Dark. I will be sure to link the channel down below so you can go watch this video for yourself, along with some of their other things. I've seen a couple of their other videos on the channel, and they look kind of interesting, so maybe they'll make a comeback on the channel. But again, I'm going to go ahead and link it down below, and you can go check them out, give them some likes and subscribes, because guys, we wouldn't be able to make this video without the original creator. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. I just heard my dog out in the hall and it made me jump. I don't even know if you guys heard her on camera, but that freaked me out. I feel like I should turn this up a little bit. I don't know why, but the films that have like barely any voice acting are the ones that have like the most story, in my opinion. Is that glowing eyes?
Sparrow Moon was not at all what I thought she would be. I wasn't given much time to go over her case file before our first appointment, but from what I had read, I half expected some kind of uncontrollable monster to walk through the door. She wasn't anything like that. She was quiet, guarded, smaller in person than what I had imagined from the photograph. Perfectly normal 17-year-old girl. That made it even harder to believe she was capable of doing the things that she did. She was the last surviving member of the so-called Woodfield Five, a group of kids all from the same remote northern town who suffered a series of unexplained times of violence. Clinical notes suggested some kind of shared psychosis, so unlike anything I'd ever heard of. By all accounts, Sparrow had an unremarkable childhood. No indications of behavioral difficulty, good grades in school, active social life, no family history of mental illness to speak of. Her mother had been part of some offbeat spiritual commune years earlier, but had left that behind when Sparrow was quite young and eventually remarried. There was nothing to suggest any kind of underlying trauma or abuse, though as you come to find in my line of work, That's not always so obvious. The only path to understanding what really happened is Sparrow herself. And that would prove more difficult than anyone anticipated. I learned very little over the first weeks of our sessions together. Sparrow was often uncooperative, careful never to allow the growing familiarity between us to weaken her resolve. I was not as strong. I became unreasonably attached to her. The endless medical diagnostics revealed nothing we didn't already know. She barely slept. The scratches on her arms were self-inflicted. And aside from high blood pressure, she was physically healthy. No one was certain about what exactly was wrong with her.
Did she kill someone?
She was getting worse.
It looks like she's in prison now. I mean, obviously she did something. I'm intrigued.
Weeks turned to months, and I was running out of time. The courts had determined that unless I could demonstrate conclusive progress in her treatment, Sparrow would be transferred to an isolated psychiatric ward out of my care. I could have walked away at that point. I probably should have. But what I wanted, what I've always wanted, was answers.
My tummy is rumbling. I've not eaten today, so you're very much like a lot on camera.
She wasn't a monster either. She was a puzzle to solve. Sodium pentothal can be administered to induce something called narcosynthesis, a state between asleep and awake where the subject is highly suggestible. In most places today, the practice is frowned upon. Normally, I would never consider such treatment, but given the circumstances, my options were limited. I knew full well that this could risk professional censure, perhaps even my career itself. That didn't seem to matter at the time. After the injections, Sparrow was brought to my office. We were left alone, and I asked her to count backwards from 10. Though before she even got to 5, it was clear she knew something was wrong. Her breathing became shallow, and her eyes darted around rapidly. She began talking about a mist coming into the room that only she could see. She could hear a voice from within it calling to her. The drug had disoriented her to such a degree that I don't even think she recognized me. Sparrow's small size and chronic fatigue made the dosage I administered tricky. She drifted in and out for several minutes. When lucid, I redirected her, asking if she could tell me what the voice she heard was saying. After a long pause, she finally whispered, "Little bird." At that point, Sparrow was not interested in answering any of my questions. She just spoke, and I listened. She said that it knew. It knew that was what he used to call it. The old man. But the voice wasn't a man's. It was something else. She said it comes with the nest. That it takes things from you and grows, adding to what is taken from others. It eats you from the inside. She didn't know its name, but called it the worm. As Sparrow lapsed into unconsciousness, I was left with more questions than answers. I arranged to have her return to her room and resigned myself to the idea that I might never get the chance to understand the truth. That I had failed. I destroyed the records of our last session to prevent the review board from finding out what I had done. it was over. Or at least, that's what I thought. It was that night the dream started. Wait, come back! Sparrow. What? Every time I go to sleep, it's the same. It doesn't really matter how the dream begins. Eventually, the mist will come. And with the mist, always comes the worm. Just like she said it would. You can't run. That never works. It won't let you. The best you can hope for is that you wake up quick. Before it begins to feed. First, I told myself that it would go away. It could be a simple anxiety-induced aberration brought on by the stress of dealing with the case. But it was soon obvious that wasn't it. The nightmares didn't stop. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. It wasn't long before my colleagues began to take notice. Things got so bad I had no other choice. I called in every favor, pulled every string I could, and arranged access to Sparrow in her current facility. I needed answers more than ever. She still had them. I almost didn't recognize her at first. She looked strong and alert, a stark contrast to the tired girl that I had spent all that time with. I didn't have to ask any questions this time. Just by looking at me, she knew all too well what was happening. We sat down, and Sparrow Moon gave me what I needed. The worm is some kind of parasite, a pathogen. An ancient thing passed from host to host, manifesting in their dreams, feeding on their deepest fears. It will not stop, always hungry for more. It won't kill you, It doesn't want you dead. It wants what any good virus wants. To propagate. To be passed on. To be fed. Sparrow tried to hold it inside of her, to protect others. She thought that if she could fight it long enough, it would die with her. She passed the worm to me the same way that it had been passed to her. Just by telling me about it.
Oh, so he has it now.
I am sorry for this. Now that I've told you, I don't know when, but sooner or later in your dreams, the mist will come. And with the mist, always comes the worm.
Okay, I really enjoyed that one. It wasn't like our typical scary thing that we'd react to, but that was a good story. That was so good. Like, I'm real giggly because it was such a good story. But yeah, so wow. The worm passes on. That's freaky. So sorry for sharing this with you all, but I guess we'll see who gets. No, but this was a good series or good short film. I definitely want to go back and watch some other short horror films of theirs in my free time because that was so good. I highly recommend you all go and do the same. But I'm going to go ahead and link their channel down below so you can go check them out. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please do. Remember, as always, I'm Miss Harley Days. And if you know of any scary videos, go ahead and comment them down below. And if I choose to react to them, I will give you a shout out. That you came out so weird. Yow. I will give you a shout out. But that does it for this video. See you next time. Bye.